Alright, let's do this. Hello everyone, how's it going? My name is Elias, and in today's video I'm going to be bringing some cozy autumnal recs for you guys to read and discover if you haven't already. Listen, it's fall season now. However, I tried putting on a sweater, dressing up for this video, but this weather is actually killing me. It's literally 80 degrees and I have a ceiling fan and another fan right beside me to cool me down because I'm wearing like t-shirts and shorts right now for the video. And I tried putting on a sweater to fit that cozy fall aesthetic. I really do miss the cold seasonal weather the fall has to offer back up north. Yeah, just little things I'm complaining about because LA is not giving, it's not vibing right now for the fall. And I'm not here for it. However, I can't say the same for these books right here that I'm about to recommend. So I picked up these books mainly for their atmosphere and their vibes. I feel like reading these would be perfect for the fall season. So before we get further into the video, I would like to thank today's video sponsor, Ritual. So Ritual is a subscription-based supplement company that offers a multitude and variety of multivitamins and protein powders, all made from simple, high-quality ingredients. So Ritual is expanding their products, and they just recently launched their Synbiotic Plus, a daily 3-in-1 prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplement designed to support gut, digestive, and immune health. So a few things that make Ritual stand out is that they use two of the world's most clinically studied strains of probiotics with 11 billion CFUs for digestive support. Also, each daily capsule is essenced with mint for a streamlined gut support. Their delayed release capsule is designed to help reach the colon, which is an ideal place for probiotics to survive and grow. Synbiotic Plus boasts a clean formula that's vegan-friendly, formulated without any GMOs, major allergens, animal products, or artificial colors. So if you guys are interested, you guys can get your first month for 20% off with my code ellias20. Everything will be linked down below, and thank you once again to Ritual for sponsoring today's video. Alright, and with that being said, back to the books. First up, we have The Night Circus and the Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. I could not have made this video without the backbone of these two books, the backbone of my reading career in general. It honestly wouldn't be a full recommendations video if I didn't have these books on this list. These two books, my favorite books of all time, like of all God-given time. But this one, my #1 favorite. I actually love this book so much to the point where I have 3 tattoos from this book. As you can see, bee, the key, and the sword. I don't know if you guys can see it right here, but there's the bee and the key right here, and there's the sword. So that sort of gives you, an inkling, an incentive of how much I love this book and why you should read it. Anyways, these two books by the same author, vastly different. This one, I'm pretty sure you've heard of it before, and I've seen it recommended plenty of times. This is the book that really set the bar for me when it came to atmospheric writing or atmospheric in general. This was the first type of book that I read that really felt truly whimsical and really magical. It sort of takes place over the course of like 100 years or so, spanning from like the early 1900s to present day between these two rival magicians, all revolving around this magical circus. Just the vibes, the characters, the writing about it, chef's kiss, truly magical. And I actually got this edition, I don't know, such a long time ago, but I fucking love it. It's great. This one, on the other hand, is also another edition that I just purely love. I mean, what's there not to love about it? One of my most prized possessions of all time. This one sort of takes you on a journey sort of akin to Alice in Wonderland. So this primarily follows a young man who finds a book, and in this book he flips through like a collection of short fairy tale-like stories until he stumbles upon a story of himself in his childhood. And so with this mystery on his shoulders, he goes and sets off on this journey that eventually leads him to an underground world, the subterranean world full of books, keys, and just pure magic, pure completeness overall. Truly, when I read this book and finally finished it, it was pretty much unlike anything I've ever read. It truly remains one of my favorite books to this day. And also, fun fact, these two books were written 8 years apart, meaning that Erin herself has written only 2 books in her lifetime that I know of. I think she has written another one, but I think it's like a short story collection. But other than that, these are pretty much the only 2 books that I've read from her that she has put out into the world, and I am truly anxiously awaiting for more books from her because everything that she's written so far, granted only 2 books, it has honestly fulfilled, completed, satiated, satisfied, brought the best of the best sort of feelings that I've read in these 2 books than most books in a series combined. So that goes without saying, I would highly, definitely recommend reading these 2 books during the fall season, or even better yet, Christmas. Christmas, I think, might be the perfect time for this. Another author that I find somewhat similar to Erin Morgenstern is Naomi Novik. And today I'm recommending 2 of her books, the first one being Deadly Education. So I read this late last year, And honestly, I had a really great time just because the majority of this book is literally full of expositions. Typically, I am not the type of reader or person who really enjoys reading those types of books, but this one, ultimately, a really great, fun, and fantastic ride. So this one, it sort of reads like YA, but it's adults at the same time. So because of that, in my opinion, it sort of has like this listless classic vibe to it, if you will. And a lot of people from the reviews that I've seen said it reminded them of like Harry Potter because it all takes place in this one location, this school, this magical school where these gifted students go to learn and hone their magic and their craft in order to survive their final year, their most dangerous year, and out into the world. And we follow this one main character, this girl who everyone hates, and we sort of follow her really pure, innocent relationship with this one other guy who's really powerful in like a careless, childlike way, but beloved by all. Their dynamic, their relationships, polar opposites of that, was just so heartwarming to read. I really thought going into this it would be like really dark and really serious, really moody, dark academia and all that, but it's quite the opposite. It's very lighthearted, very comical, very funny, and very humorous, but also with a sense of like nostalgia as well, because you're watching all these students grow, trying to survive their final year in order to fight and battle all these monsters and evil curses and all that. And it was just and overall a really great time. So another book that I'm going to recommend by Naomi Novik is Spinning Silver. So this one is really great. It's different because unlike her other book, this one is very moody, very slow, and very atmospheric. And the book sort of follows these three distinct characters, these three girls, and how their stories all interweave and interact with each other. One of the main things that I really love what this book did is that Naomi wove like fantasy elements with fairy tale-like attributes all together into like this one cohesive standalone, which I think is a feat in of itself because not a lot of books really do that, but she does it really well here. If you are familiar with the tale of Rumpelstiltskin and you like enemies to lovers with different aspects from different fairy tales all woven into one story, then this is the book for you. Alright, so the next book I'm going to recommend is Year of the Reaper. This one was a really slow plotting book. I feel like it was so atmospheric because it takes place during medieval times. I believe it takes place, if I can remember correctly, during the Black Plague, and the author actually put her own spin to it and added some like magical and fantasy elements to it as well. However, that fantasy magical realism aspect, it was like so minuscule and so small to the point where it sort of added and elevated to the story overall, even though it was like almost glossed over, like minuscule at most. This one primarily follows a young lord who returns home where everything has completely changed. He soon gets embroiled in politics at court when the royal family is attacked by assassins, and he has to team up with this young historian, and they together have to find what, why, who did it, and whatnot. But to me, another interesting thing was that while this is YA, the characters themselves feel much older, which I sort of appreciated. Everything about this book was very dark, very moody, very mysterious. So if you're looking for a good slow burn and a mystery and atmospheric book, then look no further. Alright, the next book I'm going to recommend is House of Holo by Sutherland. So this one was a really cool book. It's very stylish and very elegant, almost sophisticated in a way, right? The story revolves around these three sisters and what happened after the fact when they went missing back when they were kids. So before they disappeared, they were like normal kids. However, months later when they are found again, all three of them are essentially changed forever in appearance and looks and personalities, and might or might not have acquired some really weird poisonous ability. So the story really kicks off when the oldest sister goes missing, and it's up to the younger two sisters to find out what is going on and unlocking the true mystery of what happened when they were kids, where did they go, who took them, and why. I would say it honestly has elements of like Coraline, A Nightmare on Elm Street, and Stranger Things. So if you're looking to read some of those elements along with some stylish, sophisticated characterization and writing, then look no further. Alright, so the next book I'm going to recommend is also another favorite of mine, and it's Vita Nostra. So I remember reading this a couple years ago. I really think and truly believe that no sane human mind or brain can really comprehend or encompass everything that is going on in this book. It's just so weird and so strange, but it is just like so beautiful and majestic at the same time. So this one also takes place in a school in a very foreboding institute where these gifted students, after passing a test, go and try to explore and expand their abilities. These abilities are unlike anything you have ever read about. They deal with like metamorphosis, like really strange and heavy philosophical terms, which I don't even understand half the time because some of these abilities, half of the things that they're able to do, have to deal with like these anomalies and analogies and just have to do with like these weird metaphors, if you will. The whole book is very strange in itself, but we follow this one particular main character who undergoes her transformation of metamorphosis, right? I'm gonna leave it at that, because I feel like the less you know, the more you'll understand reading this book, if that makes any sense. Because all in all, I think the most important message is if we can transcend beyond ourselves, or even transcend into godhood and beyond. The book itself is heavily atmospheric as well, and I believe there's a sequel, book 2, coming out next year, which I'm very excited to read. Right, so the next book I'm going to recommend is Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. So this one is another great read, heavily atmospheric, and overall another fantastic fun pick for the fall season. The book itself is almost like this forbidden, hidden secret, and not a lot of people know about it, but once you know that secret, even an inkling, it's almost like fulfilling in a way. So this one primarily follows a few different characters, primarily one protagonist though. It revolves around them reading this book and trying to find other copies or other works written by this one author, and how every time they're trying to find a copy of his book, they all seem to be destroyed, hidden away, or people tying to those books disappear. And I believe this is the only historical fiction recommendation on this list, but this one takes place in Barcelona, Spain in 1945. Everything about this book was really interesting, really dark, really gloomy, and at times somewhat slow. However, I feel like it all adds to the mystery and the intrigue of the story overall. This is the book that I would recommend if you're looking to cozy up next to a fireplace for like the next 8 to 10 hours for a long time. So there. Alright, so last but not least, we have Echo North by Johanna, Ruth. So this book to me is rather special because I feel like not a lot of people have read or even seen or heard about this book before. I'm not the type of person to gatekeep, so you're welcome, here you go. And this one is really great because this is another book that incorporates sort of like fantasy elements with fairy tale-like attributes into one. It's a standalone and it's YA, but it doesn't really feel young because it sort of has like that timeless classic element to it. I don't know, every time there's like a fairy tale like incorporation into the books, no matter if it's adult or YA, they sort of all blend together seamlessly. It primarily follows this young girl named Echo who finds a father that she thought to be long lost, half frozen in the woods. However, her father is guarded by a talking wolf, the same wolf who attacked her when she was a young child. And the talking wolf sort of gives her an ultimatum to come live with him in an enchanted place beneath the mountains to ensure her father's safety. And so what does she do? She ignores all the red flags, and of course she goes with this wolf, and she sort of finds this place really dark and foreboding, but also alive at the same time. Because in this place, there are doors that lead to other worlds, and in this world, she finds another young man. Soon, all three of them get embroiled and entangled together in an enchantment, and it's up to Echo to finally break the curse and set them all free. So yeah, there you go. This one also had like one of the prettiest writings I've ever read for this type of book. I would definitely recommend reading this one during a cozy, snuggly night. Alright folks, and there you have it. These are all the books on my list. Please let me know if you have read any of them, or if you guys have other recommendations for me or others as well. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you all soon with a new video. Hi! Be free, little one. I don't know if you guys can see it right. Oh my god, shut the fuck up, I'm talking. So this one is actually, this one it reads sort of,